Markets don't stand still. Neither does technology, and neither can the institutions that keep markets trusted, connected, and competitive. What began as AFM Tech Day now evolves into something broader. AFM Trends Day, a forum not only about technology, but about the forces reshaping market infrastructure itself, and how exchanges, clearinghouses, regulators, and market institutions can turn those forces into institutional advantage. The capital market revolution is everywhere, but in many markets, its full power is only beginning to take shape. That is why the AFM journey now takes us to Malta for the first ever Trends Day, a small island nation at the center of the Mediterranean, one of the world's ancient trading crossroads, ancient in civilization, modern in ambition, and in recent decades a compelling example of economic transformation. When Fidel Castro took control of Cuba in 1959, Cuba's GDP per capita was around $3,000. At the same time, Malta's GDP per capita was barely $400. Today, Cuba's GDP per capita stands at around $8,000, whilst Malta has risen to approximately $44,000. In other words, Malta has moved from having roughly 1/8 of Cuba's GDP per head to more than 5 times the Cuban level, a powerful small country growth story.
For AFM delegates, Malta is not just a destination, it's a case study of achievement. A small independent country that built credibility, connectivity and wealth through institutions, governance, regulation, entrepreneurship and market ambition. Its significance goes far beyond its size. Malta shows what smaller markets can achieve when they build trust, attract international business, strengthen institutions, and position themselves intelligently in a competitive financial world. That is the spirit of AFM Trends Day Malta 2026, a day designed for the people who build, operate, and shape markets. The programme focuses on the megatrends now redefining exchanges, post-trade systems, liquidity, risk, and market development. Markets are scaling, but they are also fragmenting. Liquidity is moving, infrastructure is becoming more complex, technology is accelerating, and market operators everywhere are being asked the same question. How do we stay credible, competitive, and resilient in a world that is changing faster than our institutions were originally designed to move? Clearing, continuity, cyber strength, operational discipline, and third-party risk now sit at the heart of market credibility. AI is no longer theoretical. Surveillance, automation, data-driven decision-making, and digital workflows are moving from experimentation into implementation. Tokenization is no longer a slogan, but merely adding blockchain to an old process is not transformation. On the eve of quantum computing, it's tokenism.
As with every phase of the capital market revolution, the opportunity is real, but the value lies in the detail, the systems, the governance, the incentives, the standards, the people. That is why Trends Day begins with the biggest trend of all: how markets emerge, how institutions create access, how capital formation becomes possible, how credibility becomes economic advantage.
And we begin that conversation of market megatrends through the lens of Malta. The day opens with a ministerial keynote and the president of the Malta Chamber of Commerce before moving into a focused discussion on the Maltese success story. From there, the programme widens into the forces reshaping the business of markets from digital infrastructure, AI and commodities to clearing resilience, capital formation and the next generation of exchange development. This is not designed as a passive workshop. This is a forum to compare what is changing, what is working, what is failing, and what can be applied back home.
AFM Trends Day Malta 2026 is proudly supported by Bank of Valletta and the Malta Stock Exchange, reflecting 2 institutions central to Malta's success story. The event is also strengthened by Connemara Technologies, whose EP3 platform supports next-generation exchange, clearing and market surveillance infrastructure. Additional support comes from Sinara, a long-standing trading technology vendor, alongside leading legal advisors GTG and Ganado Advocates. Trust, access, continuity, financial relevance, and the ability of a small jurisdiction to confidently connect with the wider world.
AFM Trends Day Malta 2026, a new format, a proven network, a practical case study, and a setting where the future of markets can be discussed by the people building it.
We look forward to welcoming you alongside the entire AFM community to Valletta in November. And when the formal program closes, Malta continues to tell the story.